Y'all already know who it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's that boy who? Is that boy what? It's that boy Ralphie. And it's keeping it real with Ralphie. Now, y'all probably wondering why I'm here and what I'm talking about. By the way, of course, to most people that probably been asking, well, furthermore, I'm pretty sure people haven't been asking where I have been at, but to the most of all, I have had people ask me, where have I been? Why haven't I been posting on my podcast lately? Why haven't I been doing this? Why haven't I been doing that? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. As me sitting down, as me sitting down and everything, trying to collect my thoughts, get back into the groove of how I was when I first, very, very, very first started this. Of course, no, I was doing this. I was doing this damn near every day or every weekly on a weekly basis. Like literally, I had every Sunday, or I had every Monday, or I had every Tuesday, or I had every Friday. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Of course, I'll be completely real and honest. Like, it's crazy. I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm losing the love for what I'm doing with this, but it's crazy because I low key felt myself losing the love and the interest that I had for this once upon a time. And it's like, now you feel me. And it's like, now you feel me. I'm trying to gain that love back. Trying to gain the love back for it. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm trying to gain the love back for this because this is one of the things that I love to actually do. To anybody that knows me, know I love to get in front of a camera and actually sit here and talk. Not gonna lie to y'all, but anywho, let's go ahead and get into what I was gonna talk about. Today we are talking about the Monday Night Raw recap. So last night on Monday Night Raw, I'm not gonna lie, Monday Night Raw was very unexpected. It had it ended. And then this is probably the first good Monday Night Raw, and I want to say probably not even, I ain't gonna say a while, probably in a few like a few months or so since they've moved to Netflix. Don't get me wrong, like when they very first moved to Netflix, they was good, but after that it was just kind of like, ugh. But this was probably the most greatest Monday Night Raw, even though it had a very shocking ending to it. But anywho, let's get started with John Cena. How John Cena cut his promo and basically just sat here and said he's beating them all. He's beating the best, and then on top of that, he of course anybody knows he mentioned R-Truth and all that. Said you wanted him back, now you got it back, and all this and this. But then of course we know the voice of the voiceless came out there and spoke his piece, which was CM Punk. CM Punk basically sat there and let it be known and everything. That championship belt that you hold on your shoulders is corrupting you. It's making you a monster. And like CM Punk basically said, I'm going to have to become something that I don't want to become, but I have to become the monster that takes something from the monster. And of course, we know at Night of Champions, which is June 28th, we will get CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. Which I ain't gonna lie, most people are hating that decision, but if you know, of course, what's the storytelling between CM Punk and John Cena. If you know, you know. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty sure that match is gonna cook, which I hope it does. Then we had the women's fatal 4-way King and Queens tournament qualifying matches, which normally they do about triple threat, but they did it in a fatal 4-way. They did it in a fatal 4-way match. You had Kairi Sane versus Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez. Now, to anybody that knows, Roxanne Perez, Finn Balor has brought her into the Judgment Day. And it's like, most people don't pay attention, but it's like Finn Balor is trying to slowly kick Liv out the Judgment Day. And then not even just that, it's like Roxanne Perez, she's eager to help. She's eager to help Liv Morgan win and all this. But it was like she ended up picking the pinfall victory up. Which is crazy because Roxanne, I don't think she's been on Raw a month yet, and she's already in the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Which I ain't gonna lie, which was a phenomenal fatal 4-way match. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought Rhea Ripley was gonna win it until Raquel Rodriguez came out there and poured out the ring. But that's another time for another story. Then we had the men's qualifying match, which was Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio, which was also another good match. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect Sami Zayn to pull it out, but hey, who's to sit here and say Sami Zayn wins? Sami Zayn wins. He goes after the World Heavy. He goes after Gunther, and Seth Rollins probably cashes in on him, or Seth Rollins probably cashes in on John Cena. Who's to say? We never know. But then, of course, as Sami Zayn was going backstage after his victory, he seen Karrion Kross. And I ain't gonna lie to anybody that knows Karrion Kross, anything Karrion Kross has been saying has been coming to pass. Really. When he literally basically made Drew McIntyre go insane. He made AJ Styles go insane. He made the New Day go insane. It's like every person that he tells them that they not really are, their true personality comes out of what they really are. But other than that, then of course, you had Nikki Bella return last night. She also cut a promo. Liv Morgan came out there. And I ain't gonna lie, literally, we all know Evolution is next month. I think on the 13th of next month. And to anybody that knows about Nikki Bella, of course, we all know she has a twin sister called Brie Bella. Well, I ain't gonna say called. We know she has a sister named Brie Bella. And to anybody that really knows about this whole predicament, knows that the Bella twins they might finna bring the Bella twins back to go against Raquel and Liv for the WWE tag team titles. And they probably go on their final little run as a tag team with them titles. Which, don't get me wrong, do not get me wrong. Like I was just like me and my girlfriend was kind of disgusting. I wish they would have kept the women's tag team titles in NXT, and I wish they could have just gave Raw and SmackDown separate tag team titles for the women, because that would have made more sense if you want to technically be real. But other than that, of course, Liv Morgan attacked Nikki Bella, and like I said, that's just probably leading on to Brie Bella coming back. And we have a tag team match. We have the Bella Twins versus Raquel and Liv for the tag team titles. And, the Bella Twins walking around and win the titles. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't even be mad if they won. But hey, that's another time for another story. Then we have, he's not R-Truth no more. He's Ron Killing now. He comes out, he cuts a phenomenal promo. He comes out, of course, saying R-Truth was this, R-Truth was that. But now it's something different. He even had the audacity to cut his dreads off. So really, I'm trying to figure out where's he finna go with this one now, because now that he's not R-Truth, now that he's not finna be the comedian, I guarantee you he's finna be what he was in TNA when he first got there in 2002, Ron the Truth Killings. Which, to anybody that knows, Ron the Truth Killings was definitely something to be drawn to back in the day, because he was a two-time NWA. He was the first black ever NWA World Heavyweight Champion in history to hold that belt. And then not even just that, all the success that he had in TNA, if people want to be honest, former two-time world champion, a tag team champion, and then it's like he came back to WWE as R-Truth, and now look at him, R-Truth, literally two-time United States champion, a multiple-time 24/7 champion, and a multiple times tag team champion. And it's just like now, I'm going to say this. I truly and really feel like they're finna give Ron the Truth Killings a push that he's been deserving of. And I wouldn't be upset about it, and I wouldn't be mad about it, because he definitely deserved it. To be in his 50s and still be able to perform at a high standard level is crazy work in itself. But hey, R-Truth doing the thing. That's one thing I can say. R-Truth is definitely doing the thing. Then of course, then we had the main event, which was Jey Uso versus Gunther. And I'm not even gonna sit there and lie. The match was phenomenal, good. But did nobody expect Jey to lose the title within 51 days that he's held the title? And it's like you had multiple people literally sitting here talking about Jey, talking about how he couldn't wrestle, how he did the same thing all over and over, which is true. But it was like, y'all have to sit here and think about it. Jey Uso is popular. Jey Uso gets over with the crowd. Name me some people that don't say his phase. 4 letters, 1 word, yeets. Tell me people, literally sit here and tell people that don't say that, because literally I ain't gonna say it's catchy, but it's like, it's something to get drawn to. Then not even just that, he's one of the top merchandise sellers that's in WWE right now, if you want to be real. And it's like, for y'all to just sit here and drop the ball on Jey Uso like this, and it's like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like I would be completely real and honest. I am one of those that is very upset that he's lost the world heavyweight title. But I know down the line they're gonna end up giving him the world title back. We just don't know how soon. But I'm gonna just say this: to have the Royal Rumble, Royal Rumble winner under your name and win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania is something very special to be acknowledged about, because you have most superstars that's been in WWE for decades and never ever touched the big one. They never got a chance to win the big one, because of course, and don't get me wrong, like I said, throughout the years WWE has had phenomenal talent, excellence. If you want to be actually real, even though you have some of that talent that went to the other company and they still not really doing them like they're supposed to do, but still, main event Jey Uso, not even gonna sit here and lie to you. Multiple time tag team champion, of course, with his brother, and he one time with Cody Rhodes. Former Intercontinental champion, now former world champion. Royal Rumble winner, shit. Not even gonna sit here and lie to you, shit. Like I said, Jey Uso has really done his big one. And for that, of course, like I said, you can't be no more happy, you can't be no more prouder for him. And it's like I said, even though his reign ended so quickly, I wish they would have gave him a little bit more time with that title, but who knows what they finna do with the world title picture. Hopefully, like I said earlier, hopefully Gunther's second reign as world champion be better than his first reign, because like I always tell people, Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign was better than his world championship reign, if you want to be technically real. But other than that, like I said, your boy Ralphie, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm back, but I'm definitely gaining my love and my compassion back for this, because this is something that made me this is one of the things that made me feel more comfortable with actually getting in front of the camera, actually sitting here, making like talking about wrestling and everything. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And then of course, I have gotten in tune with fewer people that does podcasting with other stuff. And of course, like this one dude that works with me named Chris. Not even gonna lie to you, of course, he said he's just really getting into the wrestling field and all this and that. So Chris, I ain't gonna lie to you, shouts out to you, bro. Shouts out to you, of course, keep doing your thing with your podcast, and I would be gladly happy to actually, one of these, whenever the next time you decide to talk about wrestling, I would definitely, whenever you decide to invite me when you talk about wrestling, I definitely would be there. But other than that, y'all, your boy Rafi is finna go ahead and get up out of here. I thank y'all for the love, and I thank y'all for the support that y'all give me, even though I haven't been consistent no more like I have. But like I said, I'm finding that love and I'm finding that compassion for this to come back to me, so I could be able to get in front of this camera and be like, hey, yo, it's that boy who, that boy what, it's that boy Rafi. So other than that, your boy Rafi finna go ahead and get up out of here. Thank y'all. I love y'all for the I thank y'all and I love y'all for the support. Peace.